what is acting natural?
I really thought you were gonna go like.
Looks great.
Well, thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to VW Family Farm. I have got some good help out here, and I'm going to tell you what we're doing in just a minute. I told Emily she needs to introduce you to somebody.
Hey guys, this is Eric.
I'm Eric.
He's my boyfriend for 1.5 years now. So.
Yep.
That's going on YouTube.
Oh no, my aunt's gonna see that. Oh yeah.
Hey, Tata Marty.
Hey,
That's
Tata.
Eric's aunt. She watches our YouTube.
They're crazy. They didn't think I'm actually going to put this on here, but y'all are seeing this right now because I did. But no, that is Eric. He's been on a few of our videos. Really, really love him. He's part of our family now, and he's Emily's boyfriend. He's over here helping us out today, and they are, as you can see, putting together a raised bed for me. If you've been around here a while, you know I have some raised beds scattered throughout the property, throughout the farm. I've kind of dabbled in raised beds. I have done a lot of in-ground gardening over our life. I've had up to 10,000 square feet of in-ground gardens. The last few years, I have transitioned to a few more raised beds. There's a few reasons for that, and I'm gonna share those with you as we go throughout this video. I think some of them may apply to you guys as well. In fact, I know they will, and I just want to kind of tell you what I went with, why I went with them, why I'm adding more raised beds, because that's the first of 4 that I'm putting in. I'm putting in 2 of those are 4x8s, and then I'm putting in 2 that are more of a U-shaped and making a little raised bed area. So first off, I want to apologize if you hear some traffic in the background because I'm out here where my raised beds are and there's traffic going by. But first off, I want to address why I even have raised beds. And one thing, if you've been around here for a bit, you have seen some of my harvest, and you've seen some of my harvest come from the raised beds. I've never been able to successfully grow carrots until I started these raised beds, and y'all saw, some of you saw me get a really good harvest out of those. That's one reason, is because they've proven themselves for being able to grow a great garden. Number 2, Ben and I are not getting any younger, and so bending over doing in-ground gardening, it wears on you after a while. So that's another reason, is getting some height up off the ground so you're not bending all the way over. There's times that I have picked gardens, green beans, things like that, where you're stooped over for long periods of time, and then I have to like push up my legs like with my hands to stand myself back up because my back's in such a cramp. I don't think that's good for you. And so if I can do some things like this and make that a little bit easier, that's what I'm going to do. So it's kind of new year, new garden is kind of what we're going with. So that's why we're putting in a few more of these. We're not abandoning in-ground gardening, but we are just giving ourselves more options and moving in this direction, I guess you would say. Second thing, we went with a company called Vegega. Some people call it Vegega. It's actually short for vegetable garden, so it makes sense to me to call it Vegega. And I'm going to put that on the screen, and I've got some links down below for you guys if you want to order from this company. They've got things on sale right now. I've also got a code to save you some money. So I would just encourage you, if you're wanting to save some money and you're wanting to order some raised beds, it's a great time because they're already on sale. So use the links below, and I'm going to show you exactly what I got and why I chose to go with what I did. But first, I'm going to show you what I have had in the past. You can see this bed right here. It needs some help. We dug that out on purpose. One day when Ben had some equipment here, he took some scoops out of that because that bed has suffered. It needed amending. These other ones have been amended in the last few years, and they've done much, much better. One benefit to raised beds is the loose soil. That's another reason we're doing this, is the quality of soil that you can have. You can definitely amend your in-ground gardens, and I've done that, and I plan to continue to do that, but it's just such a quicker process in a raised bed because you control what goes in it, and so they've got that much growing space before they ever hit the hard compacted clay dirt or rocks or whatever it is you're dealing with at your place. So you can see I've got all types. I've got old water troughs here. Those are probably aluminum if I was guessing. You can see why they're here and not being used for water. They've rusted out. The bottom is basically gone. That's what happens when they sit on the soil and it's moist. That's what happens. And so that's why they're sitting here. You can see the sides are starting to rust. So that's not an ideal situation. Old water troughs, we've got some old tractor tires in one place. That's just really not the things I want to be growing my food in. And so we've moved away from those. And you're gonna see my dog running in the background. She loves to run. I know that I'm gonna get comments about that, but she loves it. So I really don't want to be growing food in these. Mainly those grow flowers these days. Then we've got this bed, and down there you can see one that looks very similar to it. And those were actually my first raised beds. Ben built me those. They have got 4x4s for the corners. We made them look really cool. They were cedar that we got from the sawmill, like basically like their scraps. We built it out of that. It looked really cool. But it only lasted like 1, maybe 2 growing seasons, and they were just falling apart. And we even put like plastic in there. Don't know that I would ever do that again, because then you got plastic in there with your food, but we were trying to protect the wood. Didn't work. It's just not ideal to have moist soil up against the wood and expect it not to rot. So it did. They were falling apart. Quick fix, we went and bought, this is treated lumber. Again, not ideal. You don't want treated lumber up against your food. That affects like your microorganisms and your soil, all kinds of things like that. You can see they're standing. They are looking weathered too. They're not gonna last a whole long time, but they're here for now, and they've lasted probably a couple growing seasons now. They're not looking their best, but they're definitely still got some life in them. Why am I telling you all this? Because I'm telling you all the different options of what you can make your raised beds out of. A lot of people now are using a combination of wood and metal. And you can see my house behind us. That is kind of the type of metal people are going with. It's roofing metal. And so again, not the ideal thing, because that's not what it was designed to be. It was designed to be on a roof and have, you know, shedding water off of it and everything, and the underside to be dry. And we're taking it and putting it and slapping it against soil, and those aren't lasting years and years and years either. And with the expense you put into them, they may be cheaper to build at the time, but when they don't last for, you know, any length of time, then they're not really saving that much money, if you get what I'm saying, because they're not lasting. And that's just not what that metal is designed to do. So all that to say, I thought all this through. I really thought about having Ben build me some, because I love the look of the wood and the roofing metal. I love how those look. That was my hands down favorite. But I don't want to be going back and redoing. That's one thing we talk about here on our farm. We've done a lot of it over the years, is doing and redoing. And so we're trying to get away from that. We're trying to do things the first time that are going to last. Not saying people aren't doing them right, but in our situation, that's just kind of what we're trying to think about. Okay, let's do this right. Let's do this where it'll last, and we can move on from this project and not be back here in 6 months or 2 years or whatever redoing. So that's where we are. So we went with these Veggie beds. And the reason is because they are made, it's a combination of, it's zinc, aluminum, and magnesium. It's a coated metal. You can see them over there getting that one finished up. And it will last for years and years and years. I'm not going to tell you like a number of years. You can read all about them on their site, and I'm sure they tell you a range. That's going to depend on lots of factors, but needless to say, they're going to last years and years and years. I went with, they have all different heights. You can get taller than what I got. I got 17 inches tall, because that's kind of middle of the road. They had taller, they had shorter, but I don't want to be bending over to like something that's just that much raised. I'm not just going for the soil. I'm going for the back help that it's going to give us. I'm going for a deep pocket of soil to grow good vegetables. So that's my motivation. That's what I'm going for. And this company, they have all kinds of colors. I'm going to take you back over here. I went with the slate gray. Really excited about this. I like the way it looks. We are also putting in a market. And so I'm going to show you exactly, we'll let them work for a minute. I'm going to show you exactly where this raised bed area is going to go. And I'm going to turn you around and see if you can still hear me behind the camera. It might not be the best sound, but maybe I can show you and give you a perspective. So obviously down there is the road. You can see traffic going by. This will be a perfect location for a market because we are right on a main highway. Kind of always wish we were further off the road, but we're not, and now in this situation it's going to be good. You can see the wind has kind of blown up some of my ground cover. Probably gonna, this has seen its better days. It's got grass growing up everywhere. I fought grass a lot in this garden last year, so I'm going to sacrifice this ground cover. It was almost more trouble than it was worth picking grass that was growing through the holes, and we're going to cover it with gravel. It's going to be our parking area down there, and then when you turn up this way, here is our aquaponics greenhouse. The market is going to sit right in front of that, so when you are driving down the highway, you'll be looking at the market. And then we got this little dead space right here, and right there is where this raised bed area is going to go. I'm going to put the beds here, and I'm going to probably put, you know, some pretty like walkways. I don't know yet what I'm going to make those out of, but I've got 2 rectangle shaped and 2 more U-shaped, and it's going to be a lot of growing space. Super, super excited about it, and just really excited for the produce because I mentioned earlier in the video, and I'm not going to drag this on, but a couple things I want to mention. I have struggled for the last few years with poor soil, and yes, it needs amending. Yes, you can fix it. Yes, to all the things you're thinking in your head. Yes, I could fix it, and I am actively amending in my back garden that's going to remain a garden. This was not always a garden. My back garden at where my high tunnel is now, that was our original garden, and it's really good garden soil. So yes, I can work and fix that. I'm actively working and fixing that. But at the same time, I'm tired of taking time to plant seeds, water those sprouts, plant those sprouts, baby those till they become good, healthy plants, you know, taking care of them, fertilizing them, watering them, only to not get good vegetables or not get vegetables at all on some plants. I'm just tired of that. And so this is a way I can jumpstart and get back to making sure I'm having produce to pick and pickle and ferment and can and freeze and all the things. Just from my experience from my other raised beds, it's almost guaranteed. Now, I mean, if you have like something come in and eat it, that's a different story, but they grow good vegetables. So this is the year of the raised beds for me. I'm also going to be growing in my high tunnel. And we got really good news. We're actually getting another high tunnel, a second one. Y'all, there is so many opportunities for grants out there for high tunnels. You need to be checking with your NRCS. And every time I say that, so people are like, what letters? NRCS, Natural Resources Conservation Service. And check into grants in your area because you just might be missing out on basically a free greenhouse. So that's where we are, and really excited to be working with this company. I looked around, they have really good prices. Their shipping was super fast and efficient, and these were here in just literally a few days. And the kids have sat here and put this together, no problem, and just looking forward to it. If you're interested in one, click below, and I'm going to give you a code to save you some money. Don't forget to use that. Who doesn't want to save money? And then send me some pictures. Send me some pictures of what color you pick out, what you plan to do with it. Leave in the comments what you plan to do with it, what you're going to do with your raised beds. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
It looks great.
Thank you.